It's already been a long day. Time is dragging on, and you need a pick-me-up. We've got you covered. Welcome to Break Time on AM 1430 WBEV and DailyDodge.com. Here's your hosts, John Kraft and Thomas Rayfelt.
And Rick Arman.
Yeah, along with Rick Arman too.
We have the entire crew here today.
Yep.
We are live today with Break Time from Hometown Glass and Improvement. Not only are we live on AM 1430 WBEV, but you can also see us streamed live today via the video tab at dailydodge.com. Rick Arman along with John Kraft. Craig Warmbold sitting way on the other side of the table.
Hey, everybody.
Thomas Rayfeld right between us. Of course, our host, Jeff Nowicki right here. Ninja running the camera. Boy, I'll tell you what, the whole gang is here ready to roll.
Where's the gaffer and key grip?
I don't know. You got to keep your microphone close to your mouth, though, Jeff.
Where's the gaffer and key grip?
I don't know.
Where's the gaffer and the key grip?
We don't have
Do you
a
have
gaffer.
you know where the gaffer is?
I don't know.
Everybody seen the
Gaffer?
gaffer?
A gaffer is the person that I believe runs that big boom thing.
Yeah. Well, but the best boy.
Yeah.
Well, there's another one that I could bring up, but I won't.
Yeah,
you know
thank
what
you.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
yeah.
good. We're on the same. Jeff, it's good to see you, man.
Hey, good morning.
So I understand that you're going to be doing a little remodeling here when we leave. So are you going to be pushing us out the door at 11 o'clock?
Yes, we're kicking you out of here so we can get started.
What exactly are you doing?
Well, we're just bringing in some new displays. We have some new vendors, so it's time for a little bit of refresher. We're going to do some painting and just kind of clean everything up and bring in some. The big thing is bring in some new companies, new displays. So
Okay.
Give us a fresh look.
All right. So the showroom then, when we leave today, the next time we come in, it's going to be.
It should be mostly done. It'll be close.
All right. Good deal. Looking forward to it. You said some new products. Can you reveal what you got coming in?
Yeah, we have another door line we're going to be bringing in. That'll be coming here. We also have a new window line. So that I'm not quite ready yet. But the new window line will be something that everybody's very familiar with. So it
welcomes Dr. Asghar Marwan to their staff. Dr. Marwan specializes in internal medicine, and he is accepting new patients. Dr. Marwan is a member of the Pakistan
We'll have
Medical
none of
and Dental
that talk
Society.
about
and the American
your
Medical
business.
Association.
How come we hear Rick in the
Best Intern
background?
of the Year award from Kanama Memorial Medical Center. If you're looking for a doctor specializing in internal medicine, call 920-623-1200. And welcome Dr. Asghar Marwan to the Prairie Ridge Health Columbus Clinic location. Prairie Ridge Health, inspired by you.
The weather outside may be sending mixed messages, but now
I want to apologize, folks. We had a little bit of an issue, and we're going to actually have engineering out here in a minute or so to kind of double check and see where we're at. But yeah, for some reason, and Jeff, you've experienced this before. Out, you have like with a cell phone coverage. There's a
kind of in a hole.
yeah. I've never understood that. How that can be?
Well, I can speak on behalf of everyone here, Rick. You should be in NASCAR as a crew.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah?
Very impressive.
I think you could have changed a tire in between all of that.
Yeah,
if,
well, that's what we're
when
trying
you
to do.
sprang into action.
We're trying to change tires, and we're trying to do all kinds of fun things out here.
It's worth it to watch the video stream just to see Rick run around
like
this
10
morning. If you're able to go to
laps, easily.
dailydodge.com under the video tab here at Hometown Glass and Improvement, the Beaver Dam Chamber of Commerce's Business of the Year.
Yeah.
Very exciting to be here, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, okay.
When you showed up, you didn't know what you were. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had no idea until I got the phone call from the chamber.
Oh, that's great. And your speech was very good too. By the way, you could see the speech at dailydodge.com at the maybe do a search for chamber. How long did it take to write?
30 seconds.
Okay. Stream of consciousness.
How long it was, too. So
It took you 30 whole seconds? Okay, but let's anybody that knows Jeff knows it took him 30 seconds to write and then 30 minutes to read, right? Is that usually?
I was the shortest of the night, so we were good.
Oh boy, I'll tell you. So we're here at Hometown Glass and Improvement. This time of the year, what are you guys? Are you busy doing garage doors? Are you busy doing windows and doors? What's busy?
The garage door season starts to wrap up here now in the next few weeks. It's not quite as busy because the cold weather starts to warm up. And
All right, I got to grab this microphone because we're having some issues on that microphone. So garage doors, though, I'm guessing that you guys do. Do you do that probably just about more than anything?
oh no, definitely windows and doors are our mainstay, whether it's residential, commercial. Garage doors is just another segment of what we do.
I think I was talking to one of you guys. Was it you, Thomas, that didn't realize that they did garage or windows for cars, windshields?
That was yesterday we talked about that.
Yeah.
Did not realize that.
So did anybody at a sporting event that you were in front of them? Did they say something like, "Hey, buddy, make a better door than a window"?
Oh, we have lots of comments like that.
Okay, I was just
But yeah, the autoglass, you're talking about the autoglass. That's actually how I got into this.
How's
I
that?
worked in
What was the
Milwaukee for a
autoglass?
couple of months some 37 years ago, and I learned it, brought it back here, and then went around to the different insurance agents and dealerships and tried to get their business to do autoglass for them. And then from there, I've trained, obviously, several since.
Were you one of the guys in the little red truck, or is that?
Yeah, that was who I was competing against.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I think a lot of people don't know this is the fact that the business out here, you guys used to actually be in our building.
Yeah, we were. We were in the back of the radio station, actually.
So how many years were you there before you moved out here?
We were there for 5 years, from 1988. We changed it from Yanchek's to Hometown, and then we were there for 5 years, and then bought. This used to be the Matlin's Furniture Store.
Oh, wow. Now, do you remember that?
Oh, sure.
I mean, you've been around long enough to remember all these places.
All these places. Madeline's Furniture was the first commercial I ever did.
No
Really?
kidding.
Yeah, along with Lidke Motors,
Nice.
because they had to read a copy that said, "Rich, soft, sheepskin sheet cover." Rich, sheepskin seat cover. That's actually part of the copy that I had to read from Lidke Motors.
Boy, I bet you, Jeff, you've never done a copy like that, have you?
Oh no, never.
His are good. His are good.
They keep it close. We fix doors. I mean, we put in windows. That's kind of what you want when you're trying to read copies.
So 1 and 2 symbol products.
Right. That's really cool. Now we're looking at all kinds of displays out here. It seems like you guys have a lot of variety. I didn't think there was that many different windows to choose from.
Oh, it's amazing how many different brands, and everybody has their little niche in the marketplace. And the reason why we have so many different brands here is because each one does have a niche in the marketplace, which helps you give the customer whatever they're really looking for.
I have a really good idea. You know, we've got a door right behind us there. We should just do the show out here more often. And then, during the show, we could have a knock on the door. Oh, Smedley came to visit us. And then we open up the door, and then Smedley comes in and brings us donuts or something like that.
Play, let's make a deal. Behind door number 1.
What? Right. Hey.
Yeah, there you go. Good
Got
idea.
everything there.
Or just bring donuts.
Right. That's pretty much that's what we care about.
By
It's
the
just
way, it's National Pancake Day today.
it is the National Pancake Day.
National Pancake Day today. What are we looking at on your pancakes? You said you don't like pancakes as much as waffles.
I prefer waffles to pancakes. I understand that they're at essence about the
the same
same
batter.
thing. Yeah. It's it's crispier. I think a waffle is crispier, but I'll do the classics. I prefer a maple syrup. I'm good with the traditional stuff.
If I'm craving something dreamy and indulgent,
wait a
maybe a little chocolate syrup and some Oreo on there, and maybe some blueberries too, and maple syrup as well.
Yeah, typically just a maple syrup person, but I do like blueberry pancakes.
I'm definitely the classic with the maple syrup.
I think we're all
Remember those days after bar time when you go to like Country Kitchen?
Country Kitchen.
Yes, you get those 3 big waffles or whatever. And, that's good after bar time.
Yeah, back in the day, man, I'll tell you what. Well, we're going to take a quick break and have ABC News coming up at the top of the hour. So we'll take a quick break and be back here in just a minute or two here at Hometown Glass.
So basically, we shouldn't move into this building as a radio station, is what you're suggesting. We shouldn't become neighbors again.
Back at Hometown Glass, just for a couple of minutes here before the top of the hour. I was so busy today because we had a broadcast at the hospital and then had to run over here. I have not heard anything that's going on from a news standpoint. What's the big news items today?
Well, we had Beaver Dam Fire Chief Alan Mantle on WBEV's community comment yesterday, along with Lieutenant J.J. Jatzik, talking about the new study that was conducted as far as staffing and facility needs for the fire department. You can go to dailydodge.com, listen back to that. Basically, the chief is recommending going to referendum to hire 8 new personnel at the Beaver Dam Fire Department. He'd like to see that on. He's hoping to get it on the November ballot.
Wow, that's a huge increase. I mean, normally when you look at onesies and twosies, but all of a sudden we comes with an eightsies.
Well, the study recommends staffing another ambulance full time. We have 2 ambulances full time. They recommend a 3rd ambulance, which requires 2 groups of 2 or 3 groups of 2. So there's 6. A training chief and a fire inspector is also recommended. So there's no solid number, but you're talking about $600,000 to $800,000 a year now, potentially added on above the levies. So it'll be a decision for the public to make here if it ever does find its way onto a ballot.
Okay.
JJ Jackson, you said?
JJ Jatzik is the lieutenant over there. It does sound like a
MTV.
It sounds like that's what I thought.
That's why I was wondering if he just quit MTV and came over here and got a career in law enforcement.
You're thinking of DJ Jatzik.
DJ
Jatzy Jet,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think is who you're thinking of.
All right, Thomas, you're the one that every day spends time Googling things while we're on the air on the morning show over on 95X. What was something that jumped out at you today?
There was something over there, Regale or something, Jeff, that had like lights on it. That was kind of
the
cool.
Regal railings.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Regale.
Regale.
Not Regal.
Regale.
Oh, that's the Regal way of saying Regal.
You can get aluminum lighted railings for your decks and stuff, and they're actually lighted, so you can illuminate them with a remote
Seriously?
control.
Is it
oh,
like
sure.
LED lights?
Yeah, it's all LED, so it never burns out.
Wow. Okay, now that is something that would be worthwhile.
And actually, our display never gets turned off. That's been running for probably a year and a half.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because it's green. I mean, LED lights are green, and they're...
Oh, you can do multiple colors.
No, I'm saying... Oh, I mean, when I say green, I mean like better for the environment.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah,
You know, LED
correct.
lights do
Yep.
last longer. You don't have to turn them
I
on.
was wondering too, Jeff. I'm like, yeah, there are more colors, Rick. It's not just the one.
All right, we are at Hometown Glass and Improvement just east of Beaver Dam. We're going to talk more with Jeff Nowicki coming up here on Break Time on 1430 WBEV. It is break time. Yeah, we are hanging out with Jeff Nowicki, learning about some new things that they're doing. Jeff, let's start. I want to ask about the actual improvement end of things when we talk about your business, because I don't think people realize all the kind of things that you guys do.
Very true. We hear that often, even though we've been doing it for 35 years. Pretty much anything in home improvement, except for we don't do stick-built additions and we don't do roofing.
Okay. Now, one of the things that we haven't mentioned, maybe because of the time of the year, is sunrooms. And
Yes.
this time of the year, I don't think you got a lot of people saying, hey, I think I'm going to go sit in my sunroom right now, because most of the time those are 3-season rooms. You guys get busy in the springtime putting on those sunrooms?
Absolutely. And actually, surprisingly, yesterday, Tom, one of the sales guys here, did do an estimate for a new sunroom. And there was a gentleman that talked to him in the fall, but we had such an early winter that he's talking about it now, and they'll move forward come early spring. So, and it's nice to do it now, because then come April, you can get it installed and you're ready to go for the season.
And you get free estimates, right?
Yeah, everything is free estimates,
everything's
yeah.
free estimates.
Just call and one of the sales guys can come out and see you, and they'll give you ideas, and you can give them your ideas, and from there,
Do you take tips?
we always take
Okay.
tips.
Right. when it comes to building the sunrooms, though, are they custom built, or do they come like you just got different sizes to order from?
All of the above. So in other words, there is such a thing as a standard size, like 10 by 10, 12 by 12, 14 by 14. So they do have some set sizing, but then also everything can be built to fit whatever we need to fit it to. We're going to we have 2 sunroom displays here, one in the showroom and one out front. We are going to eliminate the one in the showroom. That's one of our remodel projects. But then we're also going to put a new one in outside.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be completely up to date and very current.
Is that when you put that new sunroom out front? Is that going to be the adult beverage sunroom for our brat fries then, or how is that going to work?
Sure, that could be the bar room.
Hey, yeah.
I'm just trying to think outside the box, as they say. Think about what we could do with that.
And Rick will be the bartender.
I will be the bartender. Absolutely, I can do that. Recent survey: over 40% of people say they eat this when they're angry.
Chocolate.
Oh, you know the answer. Don't
do.
Don't give the answer.
Is it liquid or solid food?
Well, you eat it.
Oh, you eat it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
See, so
That's
that would
why
make
they eat it.
That takes bourbon out of the picture. Oh, boy.
Chocolate bourbon?
Chocolate is not the correct answer.
Chocolate
Is it
bourbon.
sweet?
Yes.
Ice cream.
Ice cream is the correct answer.
Really?
Yeah. So when people,
I'll take lakes and rivers for 200.
by the way, the reason that John was speaking in that way is he's actually looking at the camera that's here for DailyDodge.com. You can see our video stream today. In fact, now Ninja, is that camera portable, or is that like only going to stay right there?
It's somewhat portable.
It's somewhat portable, okay? Because we may need you to take you around the showroom here to show off some of the things that they have here at Hometown Glass. John, you wanted to ask the people here that have children some questions.
Yeah, well, you got 3 out of 4 people, and maybe you can think about this as from the child's perspective.
Why? Because he's closest to being
I mean,
young.
What are you saying about
Because of his IQ, obviously.
I mean, because your experience was only
yeah,
as a
of course,
child,
yeah.
not as a parent. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
whatever, John.
Yeah, okay.
Dig yourself out of that one.
All right. Since here, Harris Poll conducted an online survey of U.S. adults age 18 and over, as well as teens ages 13 to 17, to ask them the age they thought was appropriate for the first time for a myriad of experiences.
So people above 13, basically.
Yeah, basically
Okay,
above
yeah.
13. Kids have yes. Well, no, between ages 13 and 17, they're the kids' perspective.
And then 18 and up.
And 18 and up, parent. Well, you can become
So
a parent
again,
at 18.
people over the age of 13 were asked these questions.
Okay. Now back to Rick. At what age should kids begin receiving an allowance? Parents?
I'll start this off by saying we never gave our kids allowance. We did not believe in
they
allowance.
love you for it.
We believed in the situation of you contribute to whatever it is in the household, and when you need something, if it's something that we deem that, yeah, you absolutely do need, then
Oh, so you don't have a set
right, we
allowance.
never had a set allowance. Like, oh, hey, I want to go to the movies. Okay, here's money to go to the movies. That kind of
okay.
thing. Because that was the way both of us were raised, too, and we kind of figured just to carry on with that. Craig?
Right?
We never did the allowance thing, not because it was some like big decision on our part. We just never
Did it.
Never did it.
Did either one of your girls ever ask if they could have an allowance?
No, they never. They just ask for money
'cause I
all
think
the time. Constant. Wait, I got a text here. Yep, they need money again.
How about you?
Exactly the same way. It never, I think that the allowance thing was, we're going to go back to our childhood.
Yeah.
That's when allowances were very popular. I don't think in today's world you don't see a lot of that.
I had an allowance growing up. My dad gave me an allowance.
I did too.
And
Yep.
it helped me, I think, budget things and keep. Now, the thing about giving kids an allowance is that it's your way of saying that's all you're getting.
Well, that's
so
true.
Make it work. Make it
My
stretch
dad
it
would
out.
give me a penny and say, "That's your allowance after taxes." So, thanks a lot.
And for the next 10 years.
The next 10 years.
Right. Thomas, okay, so you, as John put it, you're the youngest one of the group.
Are you still getting an allowance?
I am not getting an allowance.
Well, he kind of
I don't
is.
think I actually got an allowance. I was kind of like Rick. If I wanted something, I had to get great grades in order to prove it I deserved it, and then I would get the thing that I wanted.
Okay.
Actually, he got a home equity line of credit. Just whatever you wanted.
They
right?
treated me very well. I was spoiled.
So you didn't get an allowance, but your parents were pretty willing to, if you wanted to go to the movies or whatever, they'd say, I'll give you a couple of
Here's
bucks for this."
popcorn, here's the Raisinets, you're good to go.
Right.
When should kids get their own cell phone?
Oh, now, wait a second. I mean, we never dealt with that.
No. Never.
No.
We didn't have to deal with that.
Well, that's true. That's right. It was a little,
Yeah,
before
think about it.
their time.
I mean, my daughter's graduated
You're
in
probably closer to that than
Yeah.
2011, 2007. I think but this is before smartphones, so we're talking just flip phones back in the day. I think both of my kids high school probably did get a cell phone.
Okay, and you were okay with that.
Oh yeah, because again, it wasn't a smartphone. It was how
Right.
we could keep.
It was a
track
way
of
to
them.
find the kids, though.
Exactly.
That
didn't
was the
have
main
that.
thing.
You know, all of us here except for Thomas, we didn't have that growing up.
No.
You know,
Mom and Dad couldn't find you,
right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know what?
which was okay.
It was great for us.
Right.
Different environment.
Oh, the only thing was, we had a lot of kids in our neighborhood, so I was always at somebody else's house playing.
Sure.
My mom was known to have the loudest voice in the neighborhood.
Did he call you by your middle name?
No, that was only when she was mad.
We had a neighbor whose parent called my friend, the neighbor, Randy Paul. You always knew you were in trouble when you got the middle name.
Right. No, what I remember is we'd be playing in my friend's backyard, and all of a sudden I'd do one of these, like pop up like a weasel. And my friends would look, "Are you hearing the silent whistle?" Because I could hear my mom calling and they couldn't.
Really?
And 9 times out of 10, I wasn't imagining it. She was calling me.
And you were usually in trouble.
No, I was calling me to come home for dinner or something else.
But
You have
one
the
time
face
out
of
of
an
10.
Airedale. Go ahead. What?
One time out of 10, he was imagining it, which
Yeah.
Right.
is
I hear voices once in a while.
just, it's all right, Rick.
It's
fine.
How about you, Jeff?
As far as
What was the question?
I don't know. You were reading it.
cell phones.
Cell phones.
It definitely late middle school, early high school, by all means.
But
I mean,
again, it was just to be on track where they were.
it actually was flip phones then. There is no such thing as smartphone like you said. But
right.
it was also, like you said, to find your kids, or so the kids you get picked up from practice, take to practice.
Exactly.
All right, we'll do one more.
There are challenges with cell phones and giving them to kids, but the benefits,
Oh, it's
as
huge.
you stated, Jeff, are just so much outweigh any of the potential problems.
And I will say this nowadays, and I think we can attest to this, is nowadays, because your kids have cell phones, if you do need to get a hold of them, if you don't hear from them for 15 minutes, you do start to get a little bit nervous of where the heck are they.
Yep, you can find them.
Whereas we didn't have that. If we
Nope.
called a friend's house and nobody answered the phone, guess we weren't going to hang out with that person for the day, or guess we couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Yeah.
All right, John.
When should a teenager be allowed to go to a concert without a parent?
Oh, man.
I went to my first concert. It was 1986. It was at the then Rosemont Horizon. It was
Sure.
Bon Jovi. I went with my friend Tony. So I was 12 years old. I was kind of surprised my parents let me go, but
How
everything
old
was
were you,
fine. I was 12, I would say, yeah.
Did they drop you off and pick you up?
Yeah, essentially, right. And that was probably
Meet
the
me
way until
right
I
here.
could.
Yeah, 9:30.
I'm guessing today it's probably a little bit older than that.
Yeah.
Well,
No, that's right.
my first concert that I remember going to alone, my friend John from Arizona, that I talk to all the time, I think we must have been in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, and my mom took us down to the PSC, the Performing Arts Center down in Milwaukee, PFC, and we went and saw Steve Martin.
Oh, wow.
And that's back when he first broke onto the scene.
Like King Tut kind of time?
No, that's pre-King Tut.
Oh, wow.
That's when he was doing the
Wild
whole...
to get small.
Exactly. That was the routine
Yeah.
was, let's get small. That whole thing. So I remember going to that. But what you guys said, Mom said, I'll meet you here at this time exactly.
And if you weren't there, that's the last one you were going to.
Okay, so
My
you
mom
grew
got
up.
carpal tunnel. Dude.
So Craig and I both grew up in big cities. I mean, Chicago and Milwaukee. You were in Columbus.
Columbus.
Ohio, though. Columbus, Ohio.
So do you remember yours?
My what?
Your concert? First concert?
First concert. It was last May.
Is it-
No, I don't remember the first concert I went to. I don't remember.
How about you, Jeff?
I don't either. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess 14, 15, and definitely by myself or with friends.
But was it in town or was it?
No, it would have been Madison.
It would have been Madison.
Madison was the big thing for. I grew up in Beaver Dam, and the big thing was go to Madison.
Sure.
So
if you wanted to go to a concert, then one of the moms or dads back in those days before there was a 4-lane 151.
Or find an older friend that had a license.
Yeah.
That's always the key.
No, you never would have done.
What's an
something
example of a band you would have seen in Madison during that time?
Yeah, like REO, Styx.
Okay, all right.
Bon Jovi.
Really? All right.
Bon Jovi. You're my age. Bon Jovi wasn't around until the late '80s. Don't go giving me this Bon Jovi
Well,
stuff.
they started in the late 70s. They didn't
did.
get their hit until the mid 80s,
Oh,
but they
okay.
were all
You just didn't
over.
wake up, Rick.
I stopped. I honestly did stop listening to rock probably about 1986, 87 because I was really into the country scene. Well, you and I were both doing country radio at that time.
80s country was neat because
Yeah.
the songs were so different from each other. Now,
Yeah, it's
like
it's
pop
got-
music
It
with-
is pop music. But anyways,
Yeah.
no, I remember like the delineation. The last album, and that is a 33 vinyl album that I got, was Born in the USA.
Wow.
The last two albums that I ordered from the Columbia Record Club were Born in the USA and Dire Straits with Money for Nothing.
I think we all our age remember the Boston album
Oh, yes,
cover.
absolutely.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, the spaceship.
And Frampton Comes Alive.
Yep.
Those are the two biggies, and they didn't do much after that.
Do you know, I was in Florida this weekend. There was actually a store down there selling albums again.
Oh, well, right now, I think vinyl.
Very
Vinyl's
popular.
back.
I think vinyl.
Yeah.
You're- with your generation.
I got a pretty big collection myself.
Oh,
You
vinyl.
you just go to like the Antique Mall or something. You could find just sheets of vinyl.
So what kind of stuff?
Speaking of vinyl, this is some great vinyl on all of the windows and doors that you've got here, Jeff.
See, vinyl is back.
So what kind of stuff are you buying?
Old jazz records, old rock records.
We've said this before, Jeff, that Thomas is a 27-year-old person inside basically a 85-year-old.
They always say things go full circle, so maybe the generation's coming back.
Apparently so. Quick break. We're coming back with more break time from Hometown Glass and Improvement on Highway 33 east of Beaver Dam. All right, guys, we are back with Jeff Nowicki from Hometown Glass and Improvement, getting ready for probably going to be a busy year for you guys, I'm guessing.
It should be. It's starting out, being it's only February, it's actually been fairly busy. There's been a lot of estimating going on. So, yeah, looking forward to another good year.
So people probably don't realize all the amount of displays and all the amount of products that you have in here. We were talking before about variety. Like right here, what brand of windows are we sitting behind?
Behind us right here is Lindsay Windows. They're pretty much countrywide. They're based out of Minnesota. But we have, just in the showroom here, just where we're sitting, we have 3 different brands just of the vinyl windows. And we'll be adding another wood window line.
Well, I was going to ask, that's what I wanted to ask that. How popular these days are wood windows versus vinyl? I mean, with vinyl, you never have to do anything with them, right?
True. I mean, vinyl definitely is in your new homes. Super high-end homes, they'll still go to a wood window line.
But then you have to finish them and everything.
You got the standing varnishing. It's more expensive.
Why would anybody want to do that? I'm not
That's nice.
I do like my vinyl windows.
Yes. Easy
Good
cleaning.
choice. Yeah.
And you can still get the wood look. It's just a laminate. It's not real wood.
With on older houses, those houses that are 100 years old that you go in and quote window prices.
140.
140.
Yeah, like John.
We did. You
Yes.
did our windows.
Yes.
How easy is it to make them from like an R value so that they're not going to be like sieves in the middle of winter?
Believe it or not, it's easier to work on the 140-year-old homes like John than it is on the 10-year-old houses.
Why?
Because they're meant to come apart easier. So
Seriously?
you can dismantle John's house board by board, stick by stick, actually quite easily.
You're not going to do that.
Again.
Where the newer homes, everything is built in and everything's not meant to come back out.
We hear the phrase your house is tight. What exactly does that mean?
Well, there is such a thing as being too tight. You can be very, very energy efficient. Sometimes leaks aren't always the worst thing because it does ventilate your house. You do get, when you have from cooking, smells from cooking, from carpeting, from paint, sometimes it's okay to have a draft somewhere just to air the house out.
Right.
It's actually healthier.
Well, with the windows and doors that you guys install from an efficiency standpoint, I mean, I got to believe that we're at the level right now where, especially on some of the techniques that they do for building these windows.
Oh yeah, when you're using, spray foam insulation, you're doing vinyl. When we put vinyl windows in today and entry doors, it's all spray foamed. There's no more fiberglass, no more cellulose. Everything is spray foamed in place. You're making a home very, very, very tight.
Right.
But in turn, you're also trapping in the moistures, the smells.
Too tight.
Yeah, well, you can. There is such a thing as being too tight, but yet if you want energy efficiency, it's the only way to
Rick
go.
is too tight.
Right. I mean, very, very much so. I squeak.
He only eats 4 M&Ms at a time.
4? He's up to 4 now? When did you add the extra?
This is what I deal.
Pick on the MC.
This is what I deal with when it comes to like the different types of windows that you can get. And I've heard you talk about the different types of gases that they use.
Yeah, you can do like argon gas.
Right. Now, what is that? How is that a difference from something else?
Well, normally an insulating unit just has regular air in it. Just the same air we breathe, except for when they do it, it's a sealed unit. Well, you also can put in an inert gas, which is argon. They also use a gas called krypton, but krypton, it's not.
Don't go for the.
It's very readily. It's not used that often because it is very expensive. It's very pricey for the average insulating unit. They will use it in some of your, like if you go to Vegas and pick on one of the casinos, where you're really looking for efficiency because there's a high rise, then they might go to a little bit more of a different type of an inert gas.
Is that because it gives you a higher R value, or what?
It does, yes. Yep, totally. It's heavier than air.
Wow.
Which in turn acts as an insulator.
Oh, do you guys do shower doors?
Oh yeah, we do lots of shower doors. Matter of fact, yesterday I measured three different homes for shower doors.
Really?
This time
all
of the
over
year
the
is very
place.
busy. Once everybody gets cooped up inside, come November, they start remodeling. And then by January and February, we're almost at that point. We're ready for shower doors, so it's very popular this time of year.
Is it easier to install a shower door while the person is showering? Or is it a little tough?
No, John, that's a sight that I don't need to see right now. You're giving me a vision that I don't need.
I don't know if he was meaning himself.
No, I won't know myself.
No, it's just some things we don't.
Well, you always wear a bathing suit in the shower, as I
do.
understand. So.
Speedos.
I told Thomas the story earlier today. I thought this was incredible. And I don't know if you read this, John, but there was a cross-country team at a university out in Troy, New York, that was jonesing for some Chick-fil-A. But the nearest Chick-fil-A was 90 minutes away. So they kind of were like, oh, I'll do the math. That's a 3-hour round trip just to get our fix. Well, they realized then that 15 minutes away was the Albany airport. And inside past security at the Albany airport was a Chick-fil-A. So they're like, okay, so if we can get inside the airport past security, we can get Chick-fil-A. Well, they found an ingenious way to do it. They went online.
We should say Chick-fil-A is a food.
Right. They found the ingenious way to do it. They found the cheapest flight was from Albany to Fort Lauderdale for $98. They all pitched in $5.50 apiece, bought an airline ticket. One guy drove, and he picked up 15 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, 15 large fries, 156 nuggets, a bag of cookies, and one lemonade.
Oh, wow.
Just think if they got the order wrong, how do you go back?
Well, you know what? I mean, that's a good point. Well, if you still had your boarding pass, though, you might be okay. Because I think you can leave security once you're in an airport and come back as long as you still have your boarding pass. But if the airplane took off already, then
I don't think I'd want to try that.
No,
Yeah,
probably.
you can, Rick.
I don't know that would be a great thing. But I just thought that was pretty cool for only $5.50. If you're really jonesing for something bad, what would be the one food that you would drive out of town for? The one restaurant food you drive out of town for right now, Craig?
Oh, boy, that's a good question.
And I'm just-
by
let's-
name brand or by type of food?
I'm saying by just like that one restaurant that's got that one thing that you really love.
You know, I would, go back to, I grew up in Chicago, so I'd go back to one of those greasy beef joints and probably grab one of those. They just don't make it anywhere else like they do back at home.
You mean like an Italian beef sandwich?
Sure, Italian beef sandwich. Did you like that, Thomas?
I did, yeah.
Back home.
Back home. John?
I would not go out of town. I want to promote the economy here in Beaver Dam.
Good job, John.
Good,
Keep
John.
going.
And the food here at Hometown Glass and Improvement is just delicious. It's some of the best I've ever had.
You got that right, Craig.
In all honesty, I really can't. I mean, I would go with what Craig said. A good Italian beef sandwich is, because I don't know how easy that is to find here in this part.
Your favorite fair food.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite fair food?
Thomas,
Cheese curds?
Cheese curd. Ooh, good choice.
famous
Gyro's always good.
Gyros.
Yeah.
I do like the Euros.
Me too.
Yeah, but they're coming from a place that's really not like a Euro place. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to a Greek restaurant.
I don't know. They have Greek writing on the side of their trailer.
You can watch them make it for you, so you're good.
I don't know. I don't always trust those. I got to be honest with you. Every year that the fair comes out here, the place I eat is usually Edith's.
Edith's. Yeah,
'Cause
Edith's Catering Cafe.
Right. I mean, I know it's like local, like you had said.
They always have good hamburgers.
Right. And their breakfasts are amazing.
That reminds me, I got to tape Hogan's Euros when I get home.
All right. Well, we'll get to Hometown Zeros for you coming up. Well, we're going to take a break. It's break time. Coming up, we're going to update everybody on local news, local sports, and look at your weather forecast.
Craig will
here
read
on
the local news here.
1430 WBEV.
Beaver Dam Fire Chief Alan Mannell says he would like to see a referendum on the November ballot asking voters to approve 8 new positions. That was among the recommendations in a study unveiled earlier this month on staffing and the construction of a Northside substation. Mannell told us yesterday on WBEV's Community Comment that there are too many times that his department is not properly staffed to perform the job citizens expect. The study also recommends building a Northside substation on County B west of Highway 151. While he feels a substation is needed, Mannell says he's not asking the community to fund that new facility yet. noting that staffing is an immediate need. You can hear our conversation with the chief and find a link to the study with this news story at dailydodge.com. City of Mayville looking to establish an incentive program for volunteer firefighters. Officials with the fire department say within 5 years they will face difficulties with staffing as firefighters continue to retire and there are no qualified individuals to take their place. Mayor Rob Belk says something needs to be done to encourage people to volunteer. And that could be done by handing out more competitive stipends, more pay per hour, or helping with student loan debts. The matter was tabled last night to allow for more research and will be brought back up at future meetings. Beaver Dam Police Department offering a training course for local businesses on how to handle robberies. The call to action comes several weeks after Chase Bank in Beaver Dam was robbed. Officer Tony Carroll tells us the program gives businesses insight into how police handle robberies and tips for employees to do before law enforcement arrives. You can find some contact information on how to register for the course with this news story at dailydodge.com. We'll check sports right here in just a minute. Chris Middleton scored the last 9 points of the game for Milwaukee as the Bucks held on to beat Washington in overtime last night, 137-134. Milwaukee plays at Toronto against the Raptors tonight. Malachi Buckholtz's goal in overtime gave Waupun a 4-3 win over Wanakee in a sectional semifinal game last night. The Warriors will face either St. Mary Springs or Oregon Friday night, 5:30 at Fond du Lac with the trip to state on the line. Beaver Dam boys hockey team going to Appleton tonight for a Division I sectional semifinal against Neenah. For Beaver Dam, it's the first time they've been to the sectionals since 2005. You can hear that game right here on AM 1430 WBEV starting at 6:45 tonight. The puck drops at 7 o'clock from the Community First Champion Center in Appleton. Warbird Alliance girls hockey team, which includes Waupun, hosts Appleton tonight at the Blue Line in Fond du Lac for a sectional semifinal. Puck drops there at 7:30. Last night in boys basketball, Monroe defeated Watertown. Cambria Friesland got past Madison Country Day. Rio with the win over Waterloo. Wayland Academy downed St. Louis, and Eustis Ford with the win over Princeton Green Lake. The WIAA girls basketball tournament gets going tonight with regional action across the state. You can find tonight's area matchups on the sports tab at dailydodge.com. The Beaver Dam girls open up regional play Friday night. I'm Craig Warmbold reporting from the Daily Dodge News Center. Submit your news tips at dailydodge.com. I guess I'm technically reporting from Hometown Glass and Improvement today.
We moved all the stuff from Daily Dodge here.
Right. Well, it's like how we used to. It's like how we used to be neighbors with Hometown over there. I guess that just assumes we'll be moving over here one day because the reception is so good for the radio station. It's a no-brainer, really.
We never have issues over here at all.
No.
Actually, where Daily Dodge is set up now is actually where our front offices were.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. That's where our offices were. That was our storefront.
That was your storefront too.
Yes.
You didn't have a lot of windows in that room. There's only that one window.
Just the one bank of windows and one door. That was it.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, they were selling the rest of them. You know.
Well, speaking of that, you also, Hometown Glass and Improvement, speaking of the Daily Dodge studio, put that, 100-year-old door in from the old WBEV studios.
The old downtown station, yes.
Yeah, the old downtown station. Now, do you remember when that predated you, I would think, right? When
BEV
it was downtown?
In the 60s. It was when I was just a youngster.
Okay.
My mother actually worked for the radio station.
For all those years.
Doors Exchange. Yeah. She remembered being downtown. when I showed her the picture of where the door went, she remembered the door because it was
Oh,
downtown.
wow.
Did she?
Now, were people shorter then? Because the knob is like
It's
knee
knee
high.
It's so weird. I mean, it really is
It's
knee high.
knee-high,
We're not
yeah.
even like joking about
Yeah,
that.
it's
You
not
have
joking.
to bend down to open the door, essentially.
It was really cool, though. One of our teammates saw that door at an antique shop,
Yeah.
and
wow.
somehow it
Yeah.
made its way to this antique shop. And so, hey, we really should think about buying this. And so Jeff Hall and I went over and picked it up, and we're like, first of all, it is a real old door because of how heavy it is.
And heavy,
Yeah.
yep.
Solid,
I mean,
yeah.
they made
Solid.
that thing to last. That kind of glass that's in that door, is that when glass gets older, does it become more easy to shatter?
Well, it does get brittle, but it also gets a little tint of yellow.
Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't stay perfectly clear.
Doesn't seem like either of those things have happened to that door yet.
Yeah, and you really can't. It's the only way you can spot it is if you go outside in natural lighting and really compare it to something very white.
Okay. All right.
So, but no, the door's in beautiful shape.
Yeah, the hand painting
It's
on the
cool.
door, which
Yeah, it's
says
a great door.
WBEV Studios, is
Yeah.
all in very good
Yeah.
condition.
That was stored somewhere for a very long time by somebody.
I would have to say so. Yeah.
And I think overall, I got to say, I think it weathered pretty well.
Yeah, it did very well. Yeah,
it looks
it's a
great.
nice door, and it fit really well where you guys decide to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, it went in there very, very well. It just
You guys were in there for like an hour. You,
It was-
you
it was
hung
a
the
great
whole
way to-
door.
it was a great
You're
way
in
to
and
use
out.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were trying to figure out where to put the door, and then I said, right there, we never had a door on that top of the stairs by our video studio for
Right.
Daily Dodge, and it just seemed to make sense right there. We just got to get used to it. John and I are the ones that really have to get used to it because we're the early morning guys.
Yeah. Mm.
And you're carrying your coffee and you forget there's a door there.
Takes a
Have you
little
run
while.
into it yet? Have you run into it yet?
Not
I did.
yet. Did you
I
really?
I was walking up the stairs and I was like, wasn't paying attention. Boom! Right into my head with the door. Luckily, I
Sounds
didn't
right.
shatter it. That would have really stink.
yeah.
We spent all that
Just
money-
get it put in there, and then you go and break it with your head.
Yeah, that would be bad. Hey, you know what else is bad? I feel bad for this guy. His name is Clinton Collins. And back in 2011, he invested money in Bitcoins. Now,
Oh.
our
Great
Bitcoins,
investment.
you can still do it today because I know there are some websites that only take, or in addition to credit cards, take Bitcoin currency.
I think their value fluctuates on the market, if I'm not mistaken, or
Yeah.
whatever market they would be part of. You know, they're not on the Nasdaq or anything like that.
Well,
as I
back
understand it.
then, Bitcoins cost $4 to $6 a piece. Today, they're worth $9,700 a piece. So Clinton's total value is $58 million.
Yeah, that's kind of like having like a $58 million baseball card collection,
Yep.
though. I mean, if you can't get rid of the baseball cards, then
Well,
what are you going to do?
Here's worse news for old Clinton. Good old Clinton Collins, arrested in 2017, locked up for the last few years while selling drugs. In fact, that's where he got the money to buy his Bitcoins, from selling drugs. While he was inside the clink, the apartment that he was living in or whatever, landlord decided to clean out the place. Turns out that Clinton had hidden the codes to the Bitcoins in a fishing rod case. Without those coins, there's no way to access the money, and landlord had no idea. He threw it out.
Oh my!
Wow.
Not good.
But Ninja, are you an expert on Bitcoins? You seem to be an expert on all things technological.
Not quite an expert, but I know quite a bit about them.
So was what I said accurate? Is that right? They're worth $9,600 per
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
You can actually, through apps that allow you to buy stocks and stuff, you can buy. Oh, yeah, sure. If you have an app on your phone that allows you to buy stocks, penny stocks, things like that, you can actually purchase portions of a bit so that you can actually start building up a fortune there. And you can watch it and watch the numbers fluctuate.
Wow.
incredible.
Holy cow. By the way, Ninja, we're going to start paying you in Bitcoin. So I hope.
Can we?
I think he'd be okay with that.
He's all
It's an
in.
improvement.
All right, today's quick question. 10% of us think wearing this improves our chances of getting a promotion at work.
We know the answer,
Oh, okay.
so we're
What
not
do you
going
think?
to say.
Do you know?
A suit and tie.
Not 10%.
Classy.
Pants?
What's it?
Ninjas have pants.
Pants.
A green shirt with a pocket?
No.
No, that would be Ninja's.
Oh,
Well, we've got matching tops on today.
Yeah, we
Tops.
do.
That doesn't.
you're supposed to call us.
Ask the company guys.
What are you wearing
So the
today?
company logo, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Very nice.
Like the Hometown Glass and Improvement logo we've got. Where's your logo there, Thomas?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Do you
right.
own any? Do we give you
Sort
any
of.
radio station gear, or
Yeah.
do we think you were going to be here and gone?
Not really sure. It's somewhere in the closet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's got one thing.
By the way, the answer: wearing glasses.
Oh, seriously?
Apparently,
wow.
10% of people think that improves
so far.
our. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Interesting.
Hometown Glass and Improvement on the east side of Beaver Dam. I mentioned earlier that we're probably going to be back out here later on for a Broad Fry. That's usually right after Labor Day weekend, isn't it?
Yep, it's always the week after Labor Day.
There's two things that I know about that Broad Fry. One is it's always crazy busy.
Yes, that's
And
a good finale.
And you know what the number two one is?
What?
The number two is that's the one where all the bees show up around our soda.
We're getting into fall at that
Yeah,
point. Let's not
at that-
talk about fall, though, Rick.
I know. I don't even.
We're
wanna-
looking for spring.
And this is the big drawing too.
That's when we do all the drawings, right?
95
Right, exactly.
days of summer.
Yeah,
Yep.
always a fun. It's always a fun time coming out for that event. Right now, if people want to have you come out and give them estimates on doors, windows, or even on garage doors,
Yep,
how long
this-
of a wait do they have?
The sales guys are ready to go. So, yeah, if you call today, within the next couple of days, somebody will be out to see you.
All right.
Absolutely. So it's that time of the year.
I had I think most of us have had Jeff and the crew come over. I had Jeff's crew come over and fix my daughter's garage door because when
that's
she
right.
moved into her new
Yes.
house, it was giving her all kinds of issues. And like you said, it felt like they were there for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden everything was perfect.
Everything was done. Yep.
Right. And
Yep.
they put in my new garage door in my house and has been perfectly. Is there any maintenance that somebody in Wisconsin, especially in Wisconsin, needs to do on a garage door?
You should lube them up, do the rollers and
What
stuff.
do you use?
There's several different types of garage door sprays, and if you don't have anything else available, you can always use a little bit of silicone.
Okay. But just once a year, twice a year?
Once a year is plenty.
Canola oil, would that work?
Yeah, I don't think I would use oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might get kind of messy as it drips on your car.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we'll stay away from the canola oil. It is 11:44. We're live at Hometown Glass and Improvement. Quick break. We're coming back with more in a moment. Back at hometown, wrapping up the final 10, 15 minutes or so of the program today. Want to remind everybody that our next stop in the poker run to Cabo San Lucas is coming up. That'll be this coming Friday. Breathless Cabo San Lucas this Friday at McKinstry's Home Furnishings. Plus, this is a fun week if you are into high school sports.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the end of the boys' regular season. You've got the girls' basketball teams now starting the regionals, getting ready for sectionals towards the end of the week. For me, it's heading down to Madison for the state individual wrestling tournament. It's a fun week when it comes to sports. And all of us, except for Thomas, are very excited about the fact that we're not getting 6 to 12 inches of snow.
Yeah. Oh. I was so glad when that wasn't coming today.
Are you big winter sports enthusiast?
No, but I got to plow the stuff. So every time it snows, at 3 hours of my life, I can't get back.
Yeah, that's the truth. You got no choice.
And then when it goes like all day long, like it was supposed to go today, then you plow in the morning, you plow in the middle of the day, and you plow at night.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of truth, guys, that's us.
Hey.
Guys, do you tell your ladies they look nice while trying on clothes to get them to finish faster, or because you like their taste in clothes?
Oh, 100% to get finished faster.
Yes, I think so too.
I can't answer that. My wife is not too far away from me.
Okay.
I also highly respect my wife's fashion decisions and think that they are...
Why are you looking behind your back?
I don't know why
to
my
get
wife's
clobbered.
back there.
Your wife isn't going to show up with a hockey mask behind you. I mean,
It's pretty sneaky.
Thomas, you're
I can't
single.
really answer this truthfully. So.
Well, okay, put yourself in that position, Thomas.
Oh, go faster all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew I could get the proper answer out of you. Ninja's probably the only one here that probably does really care enough to say, oh, I like that one, or oh, I don't like that one. Better question is, if your wife really likes something, an article of clothing, and you think it's hideous looking, will you say anything?
I just don't have opinions that strong about anything anybody would wear.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I would just be quiet. If you like it, great. That's
Right.
my motto.
Don't you think that would, if you said that to your wife, if you like it, that's great, wouldn't she come
Well,
back with,
she did that with another man once. I mean, if you like it, great. But
No, I'm just, we got to think about that one. No, I'm just saying that, would you, I mean, if she really wants the honest truth, and you don't like it, shouldn't you be honest and say she doesn't, that you don't like it?
no, I would just say that's fine. You know, if you want to look that way.
Boy, I sure hope Sue is watching this.
She never listens or watches me. It's great. I can say
Yeah, you can say just about anything you want, right? Until it trickles down through the pipe, and then several things get added to it, so then you really get in trouble.
I had that luxury until my wife was hired by the radio station, and now at any given moment, anything I say can and will be used against me.
Okay, so I saw this morning. There is always these internet, and I don't know if we had these or not. We didn't have internet challenges, but these stupid challenges that people are doing.
Planking challenge.
Well,
and
yeah, I mean, that's harmless.
The ice water.
Right. The ice water challenge ended up being something good because it went towards ALS research.
But kids have found a way to be stupid about this,
Right,
haven't
exactly.
they, Rick?
Yeah.
And the two that came to mind are one where people are drinking blue food dye so that when they go to the bathroom, they are peeing blue.
Smurf.
Isn't that awesome?
It's the Smurf challenge.
Yeah, it's a Smurf challenge.
It's a Smurf challenge, yeah. Right. And then the second one now is apparently a new cure for hemorrhoids.
Just stand.
The home remedy apparently for hemorrhoids that has been circulating online lately involves a slice of a peeled raw potato, and I'll let you figure out what to do with that.
I'm hungry. How about you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Doctors are warning, obviously, don't do this. But how does this stuff start?
It's my own private Idaho is what that is. What?
Hey, this spud's for you.
Oh, this story is
Double
appealing.
entendre.
No.
That was incredible.
Yeah, so, anyways, how do these stories start, though?
I blame a news guy somewhere for thinking that was newsworthy.
Well, I mean, isn't this difficult? We're in a difficult time right now where people can't figure out what's real news and what's fake news.
Yeah. I always wondered, where do jokes start? Someone tells you a joke. Is there like a national joke center in Kansas City, Missouri, and then everyone spreads out these jokes word of mouth? And pretty
Creative
soon they-
people with too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
Well, break time is where jokes come to die. We know that. So
We have found that out firsthand that jokes really don't last long here. All right, we have to take one more break before we wrap things up, so we'll come back to Hometown Glass and Improvement in just a moment. I'm talking.
all right. Well, you know.
We came back right in the middle of a conversation. People don't know have no idea what you were talking.
John Kraft asked what the reciprocal of 2/3 is. Can you answer that?
It's one of those things. Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Yeah, the
This
reciprocal.
is fifth grade curriculum.
I don't even reciprocal. That means you do something for somebody.
Is it
They do it for you. You
They
do
do
it for them.
Reciprocating, sure. So it's 3 2s.
Or I think about a reciprocating saw. Right.
It's
That's the other thing you can.
the
think of.
reciprocal
Yeah,
of
that's
2/3.
stretching it a bit.
All right, maybe.
The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3 halves. 3-2.
Ah, yes.
What is
Right.
the largest country in the world? China, Greenland, or Russia?
Russia.
Russia. How many legs does a spider have?
8.
And solid, liquid, and gas are the 3 common states of
Water.
Inertia.
What about
atoms, elements, or matter. Are the 3
Oh,
choices.
matter.
Okay,
Gotta
matter.
be matter.
You guys just passed 5th grade. Good job.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't because I got the reciprocal.
Time for you
thing
to
wrong.
move on to junior high.
I got the reciprocal thing wrong.
It's a new building. So.
We were Thomas was talking about door locks.
Yes.
Are those keyless entry door locks really becoming that popular?
They are. You know, we replace a ton of entry doors. But with that, a lot of people will pick, say, one door in their house, the most commonly used door, and they'll put a keypad on it. There's so many advantages to it because if you have kids, if you have a serviceman come over and work on your house, you don't have to leave doors unlocked. You don't have to leave keys anywhere or hide a key. You just have to have a 4-digit code to get in.
And you can constantly change them too.
You can constantly change them. You can also put in more than one code So that way, if you want to have one just for a plumber coming over or a glass guy coming over,
Oh.
you can give them that code and then just end that code, and that way the kids' codes are safe.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's cool.
I know that I want to say probably 75 to 80% of the houses that I have stayed in through Airbnb or
Yeah.
Vrbo
Yep.
have used those keyless entries.
Absolutely, because they can keep changing them.
Right.
It's just putting in another code and then slipping in a new one, and you're done.
And then they don't have to worry about getting a key to the person.
Right,
Which
exactly.
is really can be
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, if you've ever had them, they're so nice. If you have, other than just your regular house, you'd put one on your service door, or some people have on your front door. If you have out garages, like I have a couple different garages on my property, I just have a keypad on that, so that way I can just go out, push the 4-digit code, and I'm in.
I have a door to the servants' quarters. Is that just you can use?
Yeah, you have a microphone.
Yeah.
You want to talk into it.
Now when we're at the radio station, you talk and then you talk like this.
Mister, looking at me in the other
And then you talk like this and it's like this. So lay off. Sorry.
Servants'
It's
quarters.
getting heated
Servant-
right
yeah.
between you two.
What's that?
It's getting heated right.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't get
no, Rick and I go way back.
Yeah. We can pick. We're kind of like an old married couple.
Yes, we are.
We can feel the love.
Yeah, there's a lot
of
there's-
love.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of love in that.
That's
22
how-
years. 22 years we've been together.
Rather not feel it, but you know.
See, you have not been part of our secret code group
No.
for all these years.
Fortunately, I could change it like the locks that.
That's right, exactly.
So, if people want to get a hold of you, do you have a website or a
We do have a
Facebook page?
website, www.hometownglass.com. Obviously, you can call us out here at Hometown, which is 920-887-3757. And like I say, and besides myself, we do have 3 other residential salespeople as well as a couple commercial sales guys. So anything you want to get estimates on, estimates are free. No high-pressure sales pitch. We just come out and see you and get you some pricing.
Yeah, just remember, folks, when you walk by some place and they're trying to grab your attention and pull you over to grab by their windows and doors, that's usually one of those fly-by-nighters that you don't want to be involved with. Go someplace that you can actually trust, and people have been around for a long time. Yeah,
Yep, been here a long time. I've been here 37 years already, so.
Yeah, started when he was 12. Or
I
younger.
wish.
Or
I
younger.
wish.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap things up from out at Hometown Glass and Improvement. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, either on the airwaves or on dailydodge.com. Everybody have a super terrific day. ABC News is coming up next from 1430 WBEV Beaver Dam.